Hey guys, it is Captain Matt here with Lighting Trade School on for another episode. As always, I have my buddy, Nate making a lot of whistling thunder noises as he moves his computer. Nate, the godfather of low voltage landscape lighting. How you doing today, Nate?
Doing good, Matt. How you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic, man. We finally have a nice break in the weather here in New York State. So it's like 60 and it's like, it's like paradise right now because we've been sitting in the cold for so long. We also got glow day. Oh, yeah, I know. I come to your house when I visit in California. You almost kicked me out of California that one time. It started like sleeting, and you're the only cause. Every time you come, there's bad weather. So
it is. That is a damn true statement. Every damn time.
It is true. I go there. I'm like, I thought you said I have like a winter jacket on. I got long johns on. Y'all are making fun of me, but I'm cold, So, Glow Daddy, how you doing there, buddy? Glow Daddy Shane Duffy.
I'm good. I'm great. Weather's good. Springtime's good. We're busy.
Awesome. You had a good week too, right? You got another Glow Geek, another guy that's going to change his life by signing up for Glow Geeks, being a licensee.
Yeah, we got Glow Geeks Boise that started.
All right.
Potentially, we got a guy that's really interested in Reno, Lake Tahoe area. Had to be determined, but super sharp guy.
That's awesome. Sweet. And then Nate, I know, this is sponsored by you, right? Lifetime Lighting Systems. If you're listening to this, that's what we want you to do. We want you to learn a lot, and we want you to buy Lifetime Lighting Systems products. But Nate, I know we talked last week about bringing everything back to America and China and everything. And I know we're going to bring up a few questions here. We're going to continue on with the top 40 questions to ask your landscape lighting coach. But I want to tell a quick story. Can we talk about the Mariner, or is that like a no-no?
No, yeah, nothing's a no-no, right? unless we're talking about the trip to Vegas 3 weeks ago and that fucking stays in Vegas. All right.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, there are some goddamn rules on this.
So I'll do a quick backstory. You can correct me or add to it if you're wrong. So Mariner is our hardscape lights, a 1-watt lamp, and it's basically just a lamp. So that's been manufactured in China. Has some difficulties and stuff like that. We're proud to be American. You super spent a ton of money to bring it all to America. And now you are reinventing the Mariner. Where are you at in that process? Tell me how it's different and what you're doing there.
Yeah, so I just for clarification, I really manufacture every single thing in America with the exception of lamps. So the lamps are made in China, so we use, as you know, 99% is everything to drop in MR8, MR11, MR16. And then I make 2 fixtures that are integrated, which is the Atlas, which is a hardscape light, and the Mariner 1-watt. So they're integrated because, they don't make an MR fucking 2 or 3 or 4. It's a miniature bulb. So, yeah. So, who knows what's going on with China right now? We know there's a lot of issues going on. But, yeah, so we've matter of fact, that's why I have to leave at 7:40. I have the lift pick me up. I'm meeting my mold guy, and he's giving me the 3D prototype today of the new Mariner made in the United States. So
today, when did you told me about this a couple of days ago? How fast is this prototype? How many days?
We started about 6 days ago, I think, give or take. So we went from napkin to CAD to revision, and now we were happy. So last night we started running the 3D printing at about 4:00 yesterday. I think it finished about 4:00 this morning, and I'm picking it up. Awesome. Like I said, I'm picking it up at 8:30. I got to meet him in, about 45 minutes from here. So I'm meeting him at, so hopefully there might be a small revision or 2. If there's not, we'll start. He'll then take it to CAD detail for the mold, which will start hopefully today. Hopefully we'll start cutting metal on Monday or 2. Today's Wednesday. Could start cutting metal maybe Friday or Monday. So it's ASAP.
A couple weeks from idea to actual creation, and this is going to be a drop-in hardscape light.
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah. I wish I could. He just sent me the actual mold just right now, just a little while ago. I don't know if you can see that or not, but right, okay. That is we didn't do the whole thing in its entirety. We did the cap. Right, and you can see there's the top. It's going to have a really, it's going to be bitching. So it'll start a family of different things in that regard. But yeah, that's an advantage of moving doing things in the United States, especially locally. I can put hands on it. I can communicate. I can meet people. So yeah, that's super, super, super exciting. And thank you, Trump. A win for America.
Now, I will say one of the bigger things I just pulled out of that is you said you're waiting for the lift to pick you up. Are all of Mr. Mullins' vehicles just shit the bed? What is
No,
happening?
I had to have my motorhomes being worked on. So I'm very, time is super important for me. So I'm meeting him at a McDonald's, going to pick up the shit. And then I'm going to have him drive me a half a mile so I can pick up my motorhome. So I'm doing two things at once. So
Okay,
yeah,
that makes more sense.
that's
Okay.
that's why I'm taking a lift. He doesn't know it, but he's going to be my fucking taxi.
I've been to your house enough to know that there's no way every vehicle doesn't work. So.
Yeah. There's quite a few fucking vehicles laying around here. You
Yep.
know.
All right. I'm going to bring up some questions here. And so we've been doing this top 40 questions in no particular order. You know, they're labeled. It's not like one is the most important. And these are from paying someone to be a coach down to what most people use as their landscape lighting coach, the counter people, men and women, for those that got all mad that I said the guys behind the counter. Anyway, ask them this, right? Anyway, we're going to jump in. So I'm going to start with Shane. I hope he's ready. Get off your phone because it's coming in hot. So is voltage drop a problem with LED lamps? I guess you already gave the answer to this question that you typed out. So, well, that's just awkward. I guess I should have read it.
Of course, it's a problem. There are don't say it's a problem.
Oh my God. I am so glad you did this because I am not the only stupid fucker on this call that does shit like that. Thank you.
Literally the only
Thank
question
you.
where I typed in the answer.
Dipshits for life.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
Anyway, Shay, do you want to tell kind of, I mean, what your reasoning is for putting the answer here? And like, because you must have wanted to expand on it, I'd imagine.
So, like a good example, Kevin, our Glow Geeks Orange County feller, just would call me last night. It was like 7:30 at night. He's on site trying to finish up a job, and the lights were really dull. I told him, well, he's got way too many lights on one power supply, so he swapped them. But then he's getting 13 volts at the end of a line. Well, he's got like 40 something fixtures, a couple hundred feet. Like it's a really big line. I didn't get all the details on what he has, but of course he's going to have voltage drop at the end of that line. It's really long. It's a lot of fixtures on one line. He probably could have done things differently, but at the end of the line, he had 13 volts from 26 volts at the power supply because we run a variable system. Well, he still had 13 volts at the end, so he was good. The bulbs really operate. The lamps operate on 10 to 30 volts. So for me, when you're using a variable system by Lifetime Lighting Systems, we had a 13 volt drop and we were still good. Could you do that on a 12 volt system? Well, of course not. You would have had to have 3 or 4 different home runs to do what Kevin did on one.
Wow, awesome. Well, I guess we'll go with Nate. So Nate, what is the voltage drop on 200 feet of 12-2 wire with 5 4-watt lamps? Or if you don't know, how would you find that out?
Be about 1.5 volts. For 5 fixtures, that'd be a 4-watt bulb. Now that would be on our system, a normal 4-watt bulb, because if we look at this and it really goes to, I'm going to jump into question 19 a little bit. What is VA, which we know is volt amp. So we'll kind of combine two things. So when you have a 4-watt bulb with any other system, it's really going to pull 6, 7, or 8. So now it's not a 4-watt bulb. It could be, we should just double and say it's an 8-watt bulb. So now if we're using a normal system, not our system from Lifetime, now you would have a 3-volt drop 200 feet away on 12-2 with 5 fixtures, because you're doubling the voltage drop because of a thing called VA volt amps, which obviously we'll get back in. But so massive voltage drop. It happens all the time. See it on many, many jobs. Now, if you're doing a 20 light job, which maybe 99% of the people out there do a 20 light job, okay, you can minimize voltage drop and it's not that big of a deal. But when you start stepping up your game and do what we do, all three of us do, and everybody that we teach, you're starting to do 100, 50, 100, 200 light jobs. Oh yeah, you have
So
massive voltage drop.
for sure. So is there a quick or easy to remember formula? Like you just pulled that out. I mean, obviously you've been doing this for over 3 decades, but is it like, hey, for every 100 feet, I always kind of factor in this much for voltage drop?
So you could figure you've got about a 1 volt drop, okay, per on 12.2, 1 volt drop per every 100 feet at about 18 to 20 watts. Okay.
Okay.
That would be including the VA. So, because I'm doubling it, right? So that would be if you normally used a 4 or 5 watt bulb, that really is 4 fixtures, give or take. So that's what I mean. So 4 fixtures, right, is going to be, basically a 1 volt drop per every 100 feet. Okay.
Got it.
So that's a lot. So you go 200 feet, that's a 2 volt drop.
Right.
All right.
Times 40 fixtures. Well,
Massive.
now you got a lot.
Now you got a lot. So yeah, voltage drop is still a big problem out there. Not so much for the tiny little jobs, but when you start getting distances, which happen really fast, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, it's not like the crow flies 100 fucking feet. You're going around the sidewalk, undermining, paralleling this, jogging over here. So a 100-foot run literally might be, 150 feet run.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it happens fast.
All right. We'll move on fast as well then. So 19, what is VA? You just answered it. Shane, do you have a quick 30-second answer for VA? Just to plant it in people's mind. Everyone knows it because they're even listed on like people's websites, like 4-watt ball, VA 6.8. What's
Well, I
that mean?
Nate is the smartest electrical guy I know. He can describe it 10 times better than I could. But I know when you're dropping, like back in the day with mercury vapes, and you got 20 to 50 watt lamps, the VA, you need to swap out, the the fuses in the transformer so that way it trips, so it doesn't burn down the house. Is that the answer?
All right. Sorry, I forgot to turn it off.
That more or less what you're fishing for on an answer?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's volt amps, obviously, right? And you only have those on an AC system because of the alternating current and all. So basically, if you're using a 12-volt AC magnetic transformer, you're going to have VA. Every lamp is a liar. I know Nate can talk about this for hours, but I think we should just move on because I know he's got to go. And I think VA can be, just move to lifetime lighting systems and stop worrying about it. But
So I do want to make a comment, Matt, before you jump in. Just let me interrupt you real quick.
yep.
And when you think about the disservice, which the lighting community is giving you a big disservice, and they're telling you it's a 4 watt, it's really 6 or 7. I mean, I've seen integrated fixtures, which are usually the worst. They'll say they're a 5 or 6, and they're pulling 11, 12. I've seen higher wattage fixtures that are 18 to 20, pulling 40, 42. So you imagine that you think you're buying some energy, green, efficient, helping Mother Earth, right? And no one talks about the VA and the magnitude of it. So not only are you wasting, right, twice as much 12.2 for the most part, twice as much transformer usage. So, it's really a 300 is really 150, right? 12.2 is diminished in half. You're really destroying resources for Mother Earth. So when you're out there trying to promote a green system, that's a falsehood. You're almost up at the halogen days, technically, right? So for me, we have the only green system, bar none. There isn't one other company out there that is for the landscape lighting community that has a green system. We have the only green system. So that's a huge selling point, and it's good for Mother Earth. I did a calculation on the plane, and I was trying to add up to the best of my knowledge of how many fixtures are in the United States that get put in. I added it up as 177 billion watts that are being wasted from volt amps, right? Which is a disservice to Mother Earth. It's fucking crazy. So it's really, so I'm proud of the fact right, that we truly have the only green system, and we do save a lot of resources for Mother Earth. You imagine out of the tens and 20, 50 million feet of 12.2 that's get bought every single year, we would drop that by 75% probably. It's a big number.
Mainly saying, just for clarification, right, that it's an AC transformer, right, is pulling more volt amps than a DC, and that is where the problem lies.
Correct. It's 100%. It's just a phenomenon that occurs because the light bulbs are DC, so they hate AC. So when you power them up with AC, they have to go through a fundamental change, if you will. Stresses them out, pulls a lot of energy, and they have to convert AC back to DC. It's a conversion process. And they're like, go fuck yourself. If you're not going to feed me with DC, I'm going to punish you and charge you double the watts. Imagine if I take my Porsche, right, and it requires 91, right, and I gave it 86 or 87, it's going to punish me by pinging, not performing, getting worse gas mileage. Yeah, it's punishing me, right? So yeah, it's a punishment. Anyway,
Right.
guys, I'm sorry. I got to go. I cherish these moments. I wish I was here, because I'm sure Shane's going to mess up again here shortly, and I'm going to miss that. But anyway, guys, thanks for paying attention. Everybody out there, thanks for listening, and everybody have a great week. And I'll talk to you boys later. Thanks.
All right, sounds good. All right, Shane. So we are going to, in fact, I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop asking these 40 questions, if you don't mind, because I know these next couple of questions, Nate's going to love to talk about, because he's very passionate about it. We can answer it, but so I did a live training there last week and a half, whatever it was, week and a half ago. Went really super well. We had guys come in from 7 different states and provinces, because we had some Canadians. We did some badass design training. We went hands-on install. We accidentally did really trick install where we did like core drilling into boulders. I had the client like bring boulders out. We did imperials on the back of posts, which are like sconce lights on the back of posts, and wire hiding. It was crazy. It was awesome. The guys got a ton of value out of it. And I know you are, well, right now it's going to be tomorrow, but when the people are hearing it, it'll be this week. So tell me a little bit about, your training. I know we talked about how mine went and everything, but are you looking forward to it? And tell me a little bit about, what you're pumped about.
Oh yeah, stoked. I've been like preparing for it, all week, just kind of getting my slides, my system down, or my schedule down on how I'm going to do it. Just trying to give as much value as humanly possible to everyone that attends. I mean, I want to respect that people are flying in, getting hotels, and I want them just to have a blast and learn a ton. So we're going to talk a lot about design, wiring, connections, kind of going over the basics. We want to spend a lot of time on that. We're going to spend a lot of time on proposals, sales, install. We're going to bring our core drillers so folks can learn how to core drill for Edison and Mariners, 3.5 to 1.5. We're going to install some up-down lights. We're going to bring some trim and some copper, show folks how we use trim and copper to hide wire. Snacks,
Sweet.
gifts, swag, everything. We're
Sure.
just going to be a super packed 2 days. We're going to do a demo Thursday night, then we're going to install it Friday.
Sweet. Sounds like a great time. I know we're not even trying to sell this. It's already sold out, right? But it's fun, exciting. And if we decide to do another one, you and or me, because that's not even known right now, just kind of let guys know what, level we're bringing to a 2-day training. I think I was so excited to do one. I definitely, brought so much to it, jam-packed it full. It was a long 2 days, but there's a ton of value there. Now, I think it's a great stepping stone to come to these. It's, I had guys that had never installed a light, and I had guys that had been, doing it for over a decade, and they all said they learned from being there. And there's camaraderie built, right? On a small group, there's only 10 guys, really helps build the team. And, we're still texting back and forth, sharing wins and asking questions about doing demos. So are you going to do the same thing with your guys in terms of like, you're going to encourage, like I've texted all these guys, I do gratitude stacks and everything. They've gotten gratitude stacks. You can do the same thing, kind of encourage this little crew that's coming to your training to kind of stay in touch. Do you see value in kind of keeping that small group talking?
I do. And you're a master at that, Cap. Like I'll say you are really, really good at that. We have a text chain going just between the guys. No one knows each other yet, but we're chatting, through the texting. But I can see keeping that text group alive, as a as a training class to keep in touch and communicate.
Yeah. I met
Okay.
some of my good people through training. I've been around the block here to say for training and coaching and all that. So I met some of the guys I still talk to quite often, just from both being in attendance. So I'm a big believer on even if Shane ends up not teaching you anything because you are so advanced that you just know so much more than Shane. Um, there's a connection, there's a relationship to be formed there that you don't even know about yet. So, um, I think that's always fun. You have everything you planned for your training, and you don't know what's actually going to happen. Day one, hour one, right? Everything can change. Meet somebody, some future business relationship can be formed. During a 2-day, basically free training. So it's exciting. I'm excited for you. Let's talk a little bit about you're not doing it at your home base. Like I did mine at my home base, the showroom, locally where I am out of, but you're not doing because you're going to where are you going to do the training?
So in Dallas, I'm in San Antonio, and really probably moving forward, we would probably just do it at my compound here because we've got a really nice setup. We'd just take a little bit of tweaking in San Antonio. It'd be so much more convenient doing it at home. But we're 5 hours north in Dallas. So the
Okay.
advantage of that, well, we're using Josh Tree's facility with We Hang Christmas Lights. It's got a really
Okay.
good training facility, training room already all set up. The benefit is he's like right next to DFW, like within 5 minutes. And every city in the world flies to DFW. Short Uber rides, a hotel within almost walking distance from it. Not quite, but they'll shuttle back and forth too. So it's extremely convenient. Me here in San Antonio, we're maybe 20, 25 miles north of the airport, and there's not a hotel super close that would shuttle folks here. So it's not quite as convenient as the DFW.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I got shout out to Josh Trees and Lisa Trees there that We Hang Christmas Lights. They thought that through really well because right next to the airport, next to a hotel, super well thought out. And I know they do a ton of training there for Christmas lighting, and I think I saw they're doing some permanent stuff there too. And now Mr. Glow Daddy himself is going to go do some landscape lighting. So that's cool.
Yeah, so I love Josh's vision of that place, building a better outdoor area and chill area for outdoor type of services. So he's
Yeah.
got a guy that's going to teach how to install turf once a month over
Oh
there,
wow.
and
Okay.
Christmas lights, and maybe we make it a regular thing with landscape lighting. I think he probably wants to have several different styles of that. Maybe even have a landscaper or a hardscaper kind of out to do some training.
Yeah, I mean that's super badass. He definitely had a vision there that, um, yeah, great spot, and then just keep building on it. We'll have to have him on the podcast, kind of talk to him, and I see he's building out a podcast room too, so it'd be perfect. Maybe he can break in that new podcast room that Mr. Trees is building out. So
Yeah.
cool, man. Well, yeah, I guess that's it for me for in terms of questions from you. You're heading out what right now?
No, so I'm heading out at 3. We got a pretty busy day. Could jump on a podcast. We're doing an install in this car wash with a bunch of dual Cosmos, which
Okay.
for those who don't know, it's like a sconce light or an up-down type light, but it's going to be all RGB, and it's going to match the Inception permanent roof line that we put on the car wash.
Oh
So
hell yeah!
same app.
Is this inside,
Super dope.
like
So it's
driving through it?
is like where you'd go to the vacuum station and then under before you go in the car wash. It's a pretty big, fancy car wash. So
Okay.
that is lighting up the ground and the ceiling, with lights. And then we got the roof line, and they all match and they all have a theme.
Oh hell yeah! That's awesome. That sounds fun. I want to see that one. Make sure you share it.
It's a little bit tricky of an install because it's all like big metal beams that we're installing lights to. There's no real easy way to run the wire or hide it. So it'll be an interesting one.
So that's why you're doing training. You're leaving so the guys can figure it out. I like it.
They're there right now working on it. Yeah, I don't know if they need my help or not. They're pretty smart. They can probably figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to share some pictures of that?
100%. Yeah, I'll be posting them in the Illuminati Lounge Facebook group.
Okay.
If you're listening and you're not in there, you should be. Why the heck not? Why would you not be? We post almost daily. No, I'd probably say daily. stuff, pictures, advice, answer questions. Get
Yeah.
in there and chat with us.
Hell yeah. So look it up, Lumati Lounge Club on Facebook. And I hope you all have a great week. Shane, have an amazing time at training. Train those guys up right. Send them out full of power and energy, ready to conquer the world. And yeah, man, just enjoy the day, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Later, buddy.
Later.